last year, roughly 20% of Switch console sales went to households that already owned one. Let's read this article from Nintendo Life over here. What we got? What is this? You buying a Switch? You already got one? With the Switch doubling up as home and handheld consoles, and especially now that the portable-only Switch Lite is available, it's easy to see why multiple people in the same household would want their own system. Having multiple Switches in the household provides better multiplayer experiences and enables everyone to play games simultaneously rather than having to take turns. Of course, affording more than one game console isn't possible for everyone, but even the Switch retailing at $300 or $199 for the Switch Lite, Nintendo has revealed 20% of console sales last year were snapped up by those who already have a Switch in their house. So this is very interesting to me because this is one of the benefits of being like a handheld console and a home console, because nobody's gonna have like two PS5s in their house. Nobody's gonna have like two GameCubes in their house. Really, like most of the time, it's like a one per family thing. But I remember when I had a Game Boy, my little brothers had a Game Boy, and it wasn't a big deal to buy multiple of the same console when it's a handheld console. So this is the type of sales that only Nintendo can achieve because they are a hybrid console.
Yeah.
But I think you had mentioned something earlier before, that you might be expecting this might be a negative thing. What was it? What was it you were trying to say before the pod?
I think right now, and it's pretty evident. The evidence is there. I think the Switch is just murdering their other platforms, like that are handheld. Like 3DS hasn't had a game in forever. I think Switch is gonna be the amalgamation of everything put together, and Nintendo is
Oh,
gonna
the
focus on
3DS
that
is
in the
done.
future.
There's no more 3DS games in development. That's been done for like 2 years already.
And
Since
then they have like the little indie games that come out on it, where you're just like, damn, they got the short end of the stick.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say the Switch was ever in competition with the 3DS. Those are very different console generations. You know what I'm saying? That's like saying the PS4 is in competition with the PS5. I would just say that Nintendo has the market to themselves when handhelds come along. When it comes to handhelds, there's no one else with a handheld console besides like Nvidia with their Shield and stuff like that, and like phones. Maybe phones, mobile games is Nintendo's only competition in that space. But the difference is that the Switch is bringing a console experience into your hands, like a handheld. So it's on the go, a console experience anywhere, anytime, and that's something that cell phones will never be able to replicate unless they start adding buttons and joysticks to them. But
They're gonna have to bring the budgets down low as hell too.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's two different lanes for me. I feel like soccer moms play mobile games, and people just to pass the time. But if you're a console gamer and you just want a nice handheld, you're gonna get a Switch without a doubt. But definitely, I think that Nintendo is the only company that can sell you a Switch twice, because your mom and dad, mainly kids, your mom and dad will probably buy two Switches, one for each kid in the house. So it makes sense that there's 20% of sales that are coming from people that already have a Switch in their house.
And then just have the controller break, and then they have to buy it again.
If it's a Switch Mini, but with the Joy Cons, you could just buy new Joy Cons.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. The Switch Mini doesn't have detachable controls, right?
Yeah, only the Switch Mini. So if they both have the regular Switch, then no, you don't need to buy a new console. Just buy new Joy Cons.
Fair enough. I don't know. I feel like them increasing the R&D department, because they're struggling to keep up with the hardware demands and the quote unquote many new games heading this year. Just lets you know the 3DS is out the window. Even though despite their claims, Switch is gonna be the future. End of story.
Yeah, I thought it was. They announced like 2 years ago that the 3DS production is done. I never thought of. I never thought of this of the
No,
3DS still being in the picture.
no, they said that, but then they said, yeah, we're not gonna stop supporting the 3DS, and it's like, yeah, bull.
Yeah, but supporting
You
it,
know
we
what?
could just be just leaving the online service open. Like leaving the eShop open on the 3DS is still supporting it, you know?
Yo, what's up, Shadow Mad? Welcome. You got any questions you want us to address? Let us know. Yeah. Well, in conclusion, I think the Switch is gonna be the future for Nintendo for the longest of times. To be honest.
Yeah, yeah. I don't have any doubt of that. I never even thought that there was ever any other option. Um, yeah, I don't think there was ever any other option. This is definitely where they're heading and what they're doing now.